Welcome to the Beauty and the Beast show. Beauty and the Beast flow. Goddamn, Scott Gale looking like a creep show. I think I'm seeing things. Sarah lost.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 15 of Beauty and the Beast with me, Sarah, and my co-host Scott. Scott, introduce
Hi,
yourself.
I'm Scott Gale.
Before I introduce the guest, I just want to give a shout out to Fitted in Burlington, Vermont. They're a store that sells bikinis, and they send me the cutest bikinis. And I'm wearing their checkered one right now, so I just wanted to show you guys that. Scott, do you want to introduce the guest, or should I?
I'll let you do that.
Okay, so our guest today is an independent professional wrestler, and he's also been featured in a bunch of TV shows, and I've even seen a couple of them. His name is Matt Saxon. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Long time no see.
Oh, I haven't seen you in a while.
Now it's been some time. I feel like a year or so. I don't know. I'm bad with that sort of thing.
Yeah, how's New York?
Same as it usually is, you know. Busy in the city, but thankfully I live upstate where it's nice and quiet, you know.
Are you still in Orange County?
Still in Orange County, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did you get involved into independent wrestling and acting?
All right, we'll start with wrestling. I think I was about 18, 19 years old. I was a fan of it as a kid. My friend bumped into a school and asked me if I wanted to do it. At first, I was kind of just doing it for shits and giggles. I said, you know, why not? Let me give this a whirl. It was IWF in West Paterson, New Jersey. I'm not sure if they're still open. I think they kind of go back and forth. Sometimes they're open and sometimes they're not. But I started over there, and then I went to BWO for a little bit and trained with Nunzio. And it kind of was one of those things where I didn't really have a goal in mind, but it just kept moving forward. And I was like, wow, I'm really in deep at this point. And yeah, that's pretty much how I got started.
And what TV shows are your favorite?
My favorite, as far as wrestling programming,
Mm-hmm.
I would say overall, I really like the WWE product. However, I'm a really big fan of Lucha Underground. It's very different. I love the cinematic spin that they have on it. I have to admit, TNA's kind of been losing me recently. It's just, especially the whole Party Boy deletion. I just thought that was fun.
That was good.
I thought it was all.
So Matt, I remember you were on Extreme Cheapskates.
Yes.
How much of that was actually real? Are you a cheapskate?
Oh, you see, there's this thing in the contract where I can only say so much, but I'll say this. I have an apartment. I have an apartment with my roommate. I drive a pretty nice car. I have a girlfriend.
Oh, you
So we'll
have
leave
a
it at
girlfriend
that.
now.
I have a girlfriend now, that's right. Yep. So I can't be that cheap, right?
Is she into wrestling?
You know what's funny? I just recently I took a hiatus from wrestling, and I told her I'd be returning soon, and she is not happy about that. She is so nervous that I'm gonna hurt myself and whatnot, but it is what it is.
I looked at your IMDb today, right, and I saw that you were on this date show. I saw it briefly a long time ago. It was that the show where you had to like make
Yes.
yourself ugly?
Yes. What was that show called? Ah, it's gonna bother me. Yeah, essentially what the show was it was about if you can love someone based on their personality, or just be interested in them based on their personality and not their looks. So they would dress you up. They would use like professional, like movie, make you just be unrecognizable, usually pretty ugly. And they would send you on these dates, and they would eliminate people based on their personalities and see if you know, looks don't really matter at all. And at the end, they actually do a reveal, and you have to take off the props and face paint and see if, you know, if the person still likes you based on just your personality. I wish I could remember the name of that show. It's gonna drive me nuts. That was a couple years ago now.
You did the show and you couldn't remember the name of it?
And I can't think of the name. It's just it completely. I keep wanting to say Beauty and the Beast, but that is not it. If it comes to me later, I'll let you know.
Okay. Back to the Extreme Cheapskates thing. For anyone
Uh-huh.
who hasn't seen it, I just want to give them kind of like a brief description of what you
Right.
have to do for the show.
Okay.
You sniffed your underwear, I think, because you said you only had 2 pairs of underwear and you didn't want to like go buy any. You didn't want to wash it that often.
Oh, you rewatched it.
Did you start washing your underwear?
You know what? Periodically, like maybe like once a week, more or less, something like that. As long as the girlfriend doesn't notice, I'm like, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
So do you think that being cheap was the real reason why it cost you that TNA gig at the end?
I'll say this: being cheap, no. Maybe being cheap and being entertaining. I always feel like with pro wrestling, a lot of people, especially now, you look at all these guys like, let's say Owens and Sami Zayn, etc. And these guys are great wrestlers. However, I think it's so important to be able to entertain as well. There's a lot of guys who, I don't know, we'll take Apollo Crews, for example. Excellent in the ring, but really hasn't really found his like niche as far as the mic. Or Roman Reigns, another great example. So boring, incredibly boring, snooze fest when he gets on the mic. But I think being entertaining takes you way further than actually being a great wrestler. Some people will disagree, but that's kind of my stance on it.
When I met you, you told me a
Cheap
story
or not.
about getting recognized at the gym. Can you repeat that story? Because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Uh, I remember after Extreme Cheapskates, I didn't realize how many people watched it. So I'm at the gym. I think I'm doing flies. So I'm sitting there doing my flies, and this kid, I don't know, he's probably maybe like in high school. He walks up to me, or he walks past me, and then he like backtracks a little bit, and he's just like, "Oh my God, oh my freaking God, it's you!" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it is me. That's for sure." It's like, "Dude, I just saw you with my friend last night on that TV show, Extreme Cheapskates." I was like, yeah, that's me, that's me." He said, "Oh my God, can I take a picture? I'm like, "Sure, yeah, that's fine." He's like, "Actually, let me see if I can get my friend on FaceTime. Hold on. I'll be right back. Are you gonna be here?" I'm like, I'll be here. I'll be here." So he walks away. He comes back real quick. He's like, "Oh no, bro, I couldn't get him on FaceTime. So I'm just gonna take. Hold on, he's calling me. He's calling me." And I'm like, "All right." Everyone in the gym is looking at this point because this guy's like screaming, and I'm just like, "Dude, do whatever you want. I don't mind." So he brings up his friend on FaceTime. He like flips it over, and the kid's face just jaw dropped. And to me, it's so surreal because in my head, I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. But he thought it was the best thing ever. He's like, "Dude, you'll never believe who I ran into." I'm just like,
Is that what people mostly know you for? Extreme Cheapskates?
that seems to be number one. Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. Like I've done other things, but Extreme Cheapskates seems to take the cake, especially since it was on the Soup. They had
Oh,
made
yeah.
fun of it. Yeah, and that just seemed to further push it.
Yeah, are you familiar with the actor John Saxon? Are you familiar with him?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
The actor John Saxon, are you familiar with him?
No, I'm not, actually. What's he in?
He was in Nightmare on Elm Street and the Kung Fu movies.
No, I'm not too familiar.
And what do you think of Paul Heyman?
Oh, I mean, Paul Heyman's awesome. You put him on the mic, excellent. Put him on commentary, excellent. Have him manage someone, excellent.
Uh,
I have really nothing bad to say about him as far as on-screen character or otherwise. I think he's solid. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what's entertaining, and that's really all that matters.
yeah.
I'd be a Paul Heyman guy any day of the week. Absolutely. I would jump at the chance.
Matt, what are you working on right now as far as TV work?
Well, I'm doing a few things. We'll start going back to one of the promotions I used to wrestle for, ECPW. I can't really give away the details at the moment, but next month, August 13th, I will be there, and that's really all I can say about that. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be entertaining as hell. I've been working on music a lot recently. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it's like I have some pads right here, right there, in that general area. Looks like I'm holding it up. And I've been working on a lot of music recently, and I just decided to show my face again in the wrestling world, and it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it should be a good time. No matter what, I love to entertain. It's just great. I've always loved to heckle people as a heel. But recently, I've been working as a babyface. I feel like I'm just going to share a piece of my mind, if that's okay with you guys. Is that all right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on the independent scene, I feel like a lot of baby faces feel that just because the heel is a bad guy, that automatically makes them liked as a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that's not the case. You can have someone who's a great heel, and if you just come out and walk to the ring and be like, all right, I'm going to wrestle this bad guy, which makes me the good guy, no one cares. Like, you're the good guy by default. You're not the good guy because you're good at what you're doing. And I was a heel for most of my run on the indie scene. I decided to switch to babyface because I'm like, I got to show these guys how it's done. Like, you got to go in, you got to be exciting, you have to be witty, you have to be smart, you have to be smooth, you have to be charismatic, and a lot of guys on the indie scene are not that. You know, you have to almost make people want to be you. And I don't know, I see a lot of baby faces on the indie scene who just are so disappointing, extremely disappointing. So I just thought I'd.
Yeah. What are thoughts of the new SmackDown commentator, Mauro Ranallo?
I think he's good. You know, I think he adds like a very old school presence, but clearly knows what he's talking about. I know he was commentator in Japan and whatnot. A lot of my friends aren't a fan of him because I feel like he doesn't have that WWE style. But personally, I'm okay with that. I was also a fan of Matt Striker, who a lot of people hated him on commentary. Mm-hmm. But his commentary is very different. It was unique. And I'm all about that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to switch it up. You have a lot of the same guys doing commentary, or they have someone like Byron Saxton, he's fine, I guess. You know, he's okay. But what does he really add to it, or what's different about him? What's unique that it's like, you know what? I would love to have him do WrestleMania. Does anything about him make you say that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. You know? So I enjoy Mauro's commentary. I think it's really good. I love the fact that he talks about the moves a lot. He's like, you know, this is this move, and going back to Matt Striker again, he would say why a wrestler would do that move. What was the purpose of it, long term in the match, or immediately in that moment. And I enjoy that sort of commentary.
If you could be on any reality show, what would it be?
Can I do one that's no longer on the air?
Yeah.
I would have said Jersey Shore was huge when it was out. Huge. And I was about that age range when it was big. You know, I was in my early 20s. And I just think that if they invested wisely, those guys should not have an issue money-wise. But I don't think they are. And, yeah, they could have used their popularity to pretty much do whatever they wanted. And, yeah, that's Jersey Shore, absolutely. I'm ready. Next question.
What's your favorite type of music?
Ooh, it's funny. I record hip-hop music, but I don't really listen to hip-hop music that much. I used to love rock back when, it was like Saliva and Limp Bizkit, Disturbed. Not a lot of those guys are either gone or kind of unheard of. But now I listen to a lot of alternative. Maybe I'm just getting old. I listen to like Jack Johnson. Throw me a ukulele or an acoustic guitar, and just something very mellow to chill out with.
You rap too, right?
Yeah. It's funny. I don't listen to rap, but I record rap music. Yeah.
So you don't have a favorite rapper?
Ooh, I think a lot of new rappers are kind of lame. I like a lot of underground guys. Let me think. Who do I like? I was always a fan of Ludacris. I used to like DMX, but he kind of fell off. Hmm.
Scott, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, what's your favorite type of restaurant? Yeah, I think your screen froze.
Matt, are you still there?
Yeah, I don't see him talking.
I don't know. We can wait for him to get back, but while we wait for him, do
Yeah.
you want to do the paper bag rant?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
It's on YouTube of taking my channel down.
Before you do that, I have a question. How did your first episode go?
Yeah.
'Cause I actually saw it last night. I saw your new episode of your show.
It went very well.
What was the response like? All good comments?
They said they love my apartment and stuff.
I like your apartment too.
Thanks.
So me and Steve are gonna have to come by sometime.
Yes, I would like that.
Grilled cheese sandwiches?
Yes.
Thank you. What are you
Okay.
ranting about today?
YouTube shut my channel down, my real phone #1 channel down.
Why?
Just for doing a review on a TV show. Somebody flagged it and I don't know who it is.
Wait, oh, was it because you were like making threats or something?
No, it was just for reviewing a TV show.
For doing a TV show?
Like Unjustified, and apparently they flagged it down for no apparent reason.
Alright, go ahead, rip it up.
Because YouTube, you rotten bastards, how dare you flag my channel down just for doing a TV show? Whoever flagged it, I'm gonna find and I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna stop a mud hole and walk it dry. Then I'm gonna shove a machete and a fire up your ass, and you won't be able to take a shit for the rest of the night. You flagged my new channel, you're gonna get a huge mud hole stomped in you, and it's not gonna be pretty.
Great.
What?
That was great.
Thank you.
What can we expect from the Scott Casey Gale show?
More guests. Like I'm gonna be interviewing Cody Brainerd and my friend Jack Hobby as next week's guests
Matt's back.
on the Scott Casey Gale show.
That took a little while. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, it's okay. He did his paper bag rant. You missed it.
I missed it. Yeah, my internet went out. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So I was just totally ranting about hip hop. I can go on forever.
And is there any more questions you have?
Questions? Any more questions for you?
Yeah, Sarah, you have any more questions?
I know I asked you if you were working on any reality TV right now, but you said you can't talk about it, right?
Actually, at the moment, no. I'm not working on anything reality TV-wise.
But you said like you were doing wrestling and you can't really talk about it.
Basically, I'm going back to this promotion, ECPW. I'll give you the quick rundown. I was wrestling for them. They had this title called the Aggression Championship, and essentially, it's kind of like the Intercontinental title for WWE or the X Division title for TNA. And they put it on me first. I have the loudest mouth. I'm somebody who, you put me on the mic, they're like, don't say that, and I end up saying whatever it is I want to say that I think will get over or work. And I don't say anything unprofessional, but I definitely speak my mind, and I like to have fun. So they decided to put this title up. A few months passed, and I ended up having to work out some personal issues, I don't know, health-wise, I guess, if you will. So I stepped away, relinquished the title, vacated it, it went to somebody else, and now I'm returning. So that's kind of the storyline going into it. But, the question is, will I be #1 contender for the title? Will I even wrestle? Will I wrestle the person who took the title from me last or the current champion? I guess these are kind of the questions going into it, and that I can't really disclose.
Have you done a lot of since you were on Cheapskates?
Say that one more time?
Since being on Extreme Cheapskates, have you done a lot of interviews or no?
No, I mean, you know what? This is actually the first podcast I've been in, so thank you guys for popping my podcast cherry.
Oh my
Um,
God.
yeah.
I did this then.
I did do one interview. It wasn't a podcast though. It was kind of just like a pre-recorded sort of deal.
Do you still have the
And
tissues that you could show us? Remember you reused your tissues?
I don't have it at this place. They're on my old window still at home.
What would you change about the current WWE product?
I'll say this. I feel it's mixed. There's things that I love about it, things that I don't love about it. I love that they're starting to use a lot of the famous indie guys, the Kevin Owens, and the Sami Zayn, the Apollo Crews, etc.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm still struggling with is the push of Roman Reigns. I don't see it personally. I think he's great in the ring, but when he gets on the microphone, it's just complete snooze fest. It's just
Yeah.
I
agree.
I think there's other people who have way more charisma than him, and they're good in the ring, and I just don't. It's not working for me. So for him as being the main guy, I'm really struggling with that. The brand split. At first, I loved it when they did it in the past, but after a little while, it got stale. It got stale really quickly. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do differently to try to keep it fresh, because that I think is going to be a really big challenge for them. But it's kind of good because they do have a really extensive roster right now, so everybody's going to be getting those spots to shine. Dolph Ziggler, he won the title during the brand split, and I think we'll see a lot of people like that really step up. So I think it has its pros and cons, but overall, I'm enjoying it. I think what they've done the past couple of years has been better than what they did at some points in the mid 2000s. So
Anyways,
I think it's pretty good.
Anything that anyone will ask before there's something, because it's about to end, I think.
Matt, where can people find you online if they want to follow you on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook?
I was hoping that you'd ask me that. So I wrote this up. Let's see if you can see it.
Yeah.
The top is subscribe to me at YouTube. Right here. It might come out backwards. I don't know. Maverick488. That's my YouTube account. No C in there. And as far as Instagram and Twitter, at MattSaxon1. Best question ever.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Will4N01. And my new YouTube channel is Scott Casey Gale.
Before we end the show, I just want to give one more shout out to Burlington, Vermont for sending me this cute bikini. Check them out. It's fittedvt.com.
My new channel, Scott Casey Gale. What? You want to give me any shout outs?
Who's that? Me?
No, Sarah.
No, Sarah.
Follow me on Twitter at Sarah Russi. And
anyway,
thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. I feel like I have to hit my catchphrase before I go. I am the #1 attraction, Matt Saxon. And everybody else is just second rate.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bye. I'll talk to you guys later.
Have a good one.